So I was thinking, what would be a better time to talk about pumping at work than while pumping at work? I'm on my pumping break. I'm gonna do a little tour of the mother's room and then talk about everything else that you need to know about pumping at work. I am very lucky that my job has a designated mother's room that is very private and has everything that I need to be comfortable while pumping at work. So let me do a little tour. It's this like small room with a sink. I have my drying rack here that I brought from home, and so my pump parts are drying here. There's soap, sanitizer, soap per pump, sanitizing wipes. There's a table where I have my pump and my pump bag. There's also a microwave and a mini fridge for storing milk. There's a little chair, another chair, and then like a little storage cabinet where moms put supplies like extra milk bags, like the sanitizing, like microwaving, like bags for bottles. And yep, that's the room. Going back to work as a mom, as a first-time mom especially, is just so stressful because you're switching from being home with your baby 24/7 to now having to trust someone else to take care of your child while you're working full-time and have to pump while you're working. That's like a whole nother thing. My baby is almost 9 months old now. I went back to work when she was 2 months. Until she was 6 months old, I was pumping 3 times a day, 5 days a week at work. And then after 6 months, I switched to pumping 2 times a day, which is what I'm doing now, and I plan on doing that until at least a year old. I feel like pumping at work can be really intimidating and it's hard to wrap your head around before you start doing it, but it gets easier, it gets better, you get a hang of it. And so I think the key here is to really plan, know your situation, know what's realistic, like having all the supplies ready, and then you'll be good. I hope that pumping noise is not too much, but that's what we have to deal with. First of all, I know it's very stressful, at least it was for me, to even think about like breathing out the whole pumping situation at work. Like I mentioned, I feel like I am very lucky with my situation and everything is designed to be pretty comfortable for a pumping mama, and I know that unfortunately that's not the case for everyone. You'll have to work with your situation, but remember that your employer legally has to provide a designated private spot for you to be able to pump. That is not a bathroom, as well as allowing that time to pump. Go through actually like fighting for their rights to pump as a mom. I feel like with that being a federal law and stuff, that should be pretty easy to work with your employer, talk to your boss or talk to HR, whatever you feel more comfortable doing, and you should be able to figure out a way to do it while working. One thing on top of just letting your employer know that you are a pumping mom and you will need like resources to be able to continue pumping, you just need to know what's available to you, ideally ahead of time before you go back to work. So is that like a fully stocked private mother's room? Is that like a conference room that they can like book for you to use? You can prepare better and like get the things that will help you make the situation more comfortable. For example, the room that I'm using has a sink, so I can wash my pump parts after every use, which is wonderful. If there was a room with no sink, I'd look into getting that like pump cleaning spray or wipes, or doing the fridge method, or getting like an extra set of pump cups so that I can use a new one and then wash them at the end of the day at home. Some tips for building your pumping schedule. I would say start pumping at least a week before going back to work so that you can get familiar with how your pump works, as well as you have that like first day or two milk supply that you'll use to feed your baby while you're at work that first day. How often you pump really depends on your baby's schedule. Ideally, you pump as often as you would be feeding your baby. I think typically every 3 hours is the amount, and like I mentioned earlier, around 6 months old for my baby, I started switching to every 4 hours, so I was only pumping twice at work. But yeah, you can try to play with your schedule, see if you can schedule your pump sessions during like lunch breaks, work hours that are less busy, or you can maybe pump like on the way to work so that you can like end that time at work that you don't have to pump. It really all depends, but don't feel like you need to sacrifice your supply or your comfort. Your job should really be able to work with you on the situation and to find a solution and a schedule that works for everyone, because the most important is you feeding your baby. Now, when I was planning this whole going back to work thing, I thought that wearable pumps would be like the most comfortable solution for me. And then I talked to a lactation consultant, and she said that since this will be the most I will be pumping, she really recommends that like hospital grade pump to avoid like ducts, mastitis, all that lovely that can happen. Spectra S2, the cordless pump, just because when I started work I just wasn't sure where the outlet would be, and I really wouldn't want to be like stuck somewhere uncomfortable because I have to be close enough to the outlet. So I got a little extra over what my insurance covered to get the cordless pump, and I'm really happy that I did. But I also understand that not all jobs will like allow for that, and jobs that are more like mobile, I guess, a wearable pump might be the way to go. And some wearable pumps are more discreet than others too, so you can take a look at the ones that look like more natural, like in your bra, and like more like a round shape, versus the ones where it's like a cup and then a full-on like motor on top. Other things that are like essential for pumping at work would be breast milk storage bags or the bottles. I always recommend having some like Ziploc bags, because you need to put like used pump parts in there. Also a cooler of some sort to like store the milk or transport it back home from work. I have a full video about everything that I use for pumping at work, so check it out for like a full list of all the items that I use that make my pumping journey a lot easier for me. Breast milk needs to be stored in the fridge if you plan on storing it for over 4 hours. The strict good rule is 4 hours at room temp. After that, it needs to be either discarded or put in the fridge. Ideally, you would have some kind of fridge at work in the lunchroom or in the mother's room where you can store your milk until you have to move it from work to home. If not, cooler bags with some ice packs work great. It'll be more than enough for the like 8-9 hours to cover your day at work until you can get to the fridge. I combine all my milk every like 24 hours, so I never bother with like putting a time on my milk, the bags or bottles, but I put a date on it. But to sum up, like the quick little list of things that are like essential for pumping at work is obviously a pump, something to store your breast milk in, bags or bottles, a cooler bag with ice packs, some kind of wet wipes. Nipple cream can be really helpful if you use it. It's a lot more comfortable. Good idea to have a change of clothes with you somewhere at work or in your car, because it happened a few times that I spilled my breast milk and then hopefully I didn't have to walk around the office with milk stains because I had a change of clothes in my car. So that was very handy. And a good pumping bra. You want a good pumping bra to make it like just more comfortable again. It's really a lot of time that you spend on pumping at work if you do it full time, so you might as well make it as comfortable for yourself as you can. I usually have my Kindle or my iPad with me just so I can spend time reading or scrolling or just doing something. I typically pump between 15 and 20 minutes, plus I need about 5 minutes to like wash my pump parts. So every session takes about like 20-25 minutes, and it's 3 times a day or 2 times a day. Still, that's a lot of time. Most important part about pumping at work, pumping in general, breastfeeding in general, being a mom in general, being a first-time mom, is taking care of yourself. Every situation is different, and I am most guilty of just completely forgetting about myself and being just so in the mindset of like go, do things and never stop, and then you crash. So it's really important to take care of yourself, because only if you take care of yourself you can expect to be able to take care of someone else, of your baby. So there's a good perspective. Self-care, that's not for yourself, that's for your baby. It's almost done. I really hope that this video is helpful for whoever's watching. Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions or comments, if you have any tips for other moms on how to make this experience more comfortable. Also, please let us know, and thank you for watching. I will see you again soon. Bye bye.